Hey, shalom, shalom, Akim. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Those in this gospel abroad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just a quick lesson through the Spirit. Lord's will it be edifying. This was in a group chat today. And what was so weird and ironic about it is that, I was talking to a fellow saint about it and found out that you have troops that may be getting deployed from Manhattan, Kansas to Lithuania, mainly Poland or possibly Ukraine, but I'm gearing towards Lithuania or Poland, okay, to train these other troops because the ongoing conflict between the Russian and Ukrainians, okay, which training them now, good luck with that. But it's a shame because they're going to have to reinstate a draft, but they don't have any qualified soldiers, man, because everybody is morbidly obese. You got the sex transgenders, you have the momos, you have all sorts of unqualified candidates that's not mentally or physically prepped for war, which is a total flaw in the United States Army. Okay, that's a total degradation from what you once were during the time of World War I, World War II, even the Gulf War. You was somewhat of masculine, but now you don't qualify, man. Okay, even recruiters are stating that we don't have the people that's equipped to fight war because the men are not prepared. Okay, mentally they're not ready. Physically they're definitely not ready because the GMOs. And basically Esau played himself, man, because with your emasculation agenda, it backfired on you because now you're gonna need men to fight this war. Okay, because hey, honestly speaking, according to the scriptures, you are going to lock horns with this bear. All right, you are going to lock horns with Russia. Okay, you are going to war with Russia, regardless on what you think. Okay, because that's in the Heavenly Father's plan, and that's ultimately part of the prophecy in the Holy Scriptures, man. And you can read about that in Isaiah the 13th chapter. You can read about it in Jeremiah 50 and 51. Okay, but you're gonna lock horns with this damn bear, with this Russian bear, and with your allies, man. And you played yourself because you effeminized all your men. Okay, you had the LGBT community. Okay, you have people changing their sexes, and also you have this feminist agenda, which that doesn't benefit men at all, one bit. All right, so basically you played yourself, bro, because now you got this. Now you got to enlist these people transmissions from reserve to active duty because you have nobody and nobody's signing up to be recruited. And you have people leaving the military in mass numbers, man. Okay, and you're not keeping people in, and you're discharging people at a phenomenal rate. So you got to go back to recruiting people with the draft, and you're going to have to force people, possibly by gunpoint, to go to war, unless you recruit these degenerates out here, or you go to O Block, or you go to Ducktown, and you get some of them gangbanging jakes out there to fight your military. That'd be your only hope. But other than that, man, these people, they're not coming back. Okay, it is a done deal. This place has fallen. It's been exposed. The skirt has been lifted. And hey, Yahweh Shai has made a total mockery of Babylon the Great. So this is a joke, okay? It says, such and such women must register for military draft. Parents outraged, okay? But wait a minute, this is a whole fucking grown man in lipstick, okay? Bruce Fender Bender Gender Jr., man. This is a whole grown-ass man that should be able-bodied to put an M16 in his hand and go to war, okay? Because men were naturally, well, I'll say it this way. You had certain men that were bred for war. Then you had other men that wasn't necessarily mentally equipped. Like it tells you in the scriptures, it says, those of you that was faint-hearted, then, you may want to consider going to war. You may want to not consider going to war, Slovakia. But men that was about that life, that had a bloodlust, or that was kind of mentally disturbed, or that just had an urge of fighting, those are men that often went to war. They had nothing to lose. Okay, if you just married a wife, I believe you took like a year off, if I'm not mistaken, because you had to spend time with your wife. You had to kind of wind down. So if you had a wife and you just married to her, you wasn't able to go to war because, as we call it today, a newlywed, as you want to call it. But, you take time out, you spend time with her, with your love, so to speak. But this is just totally crazy, man. And I see why the Russians and the other nations, they laugh at this place as a big joke, because that's what it is. This is a joke. And it says military draft. Parents are outraged. But why you outraged for, man? You know? What you thought this way? You thought that this country was never going to see the famine, the pestilence, the sword, war? You're sadly mistaken, okay? Because this is prophesied in the scriptures. But see what Esau did. Esau has totally caught you off guard, man. Okay, he set himself up and he set you people up because he made you think that through the feminization agenda that you wasn't going to see any more wars. But you got to understand that Babylon the Great has conjured up more enemies than ever. Okay, because now that this place is the global hierarchy of the world, so-called the king of the hill, everybody hates this place. So you're going to have to defend it. But unfortunately for you, it's not going to end well. All right, so this is what you up against. This is your defense for all-out global and nuclear war. Okay, this is who's gonna be fighting your World War III. Okay, and like I said, they're gonna have to reinstate the draft. But even then, when they do that, they're not gonna get qualified candidates. Okay, because people, they're not equipped mentally. They're too docile. Their minds are too fried, and Esau knows that. Okay, he knows that these people aren't mentally prepared for this thing because they all engaged in social media. They diets are jacked up, and their minds are just not focused on what's important. Okay, people are focused on the things that's superficial, that doesn't profit anything but the flesh. You know, like a video came out, I believe it was like, I want to say earlier this year, when it was possibly that the American troops was going to be deployed to the Ukraine. Basically, you had the Jake woman on there stating that, well, you know, I didn't think I was going to go to war. Well, you signed up for the military, goofy. Fuck you thought, man. You sign up for a military as possible. Then when they need you, they gonna deploy. That's the whole point of signing up for the military, so you can be a defense for your country. Motherfucker, everybody that signed up for war, I mean, you don't expect to die, but at the same time, there's a very possibility that you may not make it out alive. And it's very possible in a time of war, they will call you because this place have been in war for majority of its existence. Okay, America has been a nation since, 228 years? They've been in war 223 of those years. Okay, we've been in conflict since the Iraq war, Afghanistan, you know. Went back to Afghanistan, shit, the fucking coup in Turkey. Man, it's been a whole just constant non-fighting. And the fact that they don't have enough troops because their spread is so thin, they have to bring back something. They have to figure some things out. You know, they may call back old reserves. They may call back retired veterans, you know, whoever they can deem fit that's able to defend country. But unfortunately, it's not going to end well for the people. Okay. So anyway, let's get a precept here. This is the book of Sirach 10, and I'm going to start at 1. It says, a wise judge would instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. And Esau is not prudent. Okay. He's not prudent in the eyes of the Heavenly Father. And he's not even prudent in the eyes of the elites, man, because the elites aren't prudent. Okay, these are brute beasts, man. These are low-life men. Okay, these are base men. They don't think before they act. Okay, they too smart for their own goods. But clearly, if he allowed men to remain in a masculine role, he may have had a chance. But unfortunately, he don't have a chance. Okay, and it says, as the judge of the people as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of men the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein, right? Because Esau is basically a homo. You know, he's about that. He's about that life. So it only makes sense that, you know, he spread that paradigm and that philosophy to the rest of the people. Because I mean, you look at it, man, this community is out of whack. I mean, it's out of control, man. Okay, I mean, it's to the point that these people aren't hiding anymore. Okay, back at least in the 80s and the 90s, they, you know, had what they call in the closet. But now, these people, man, they blatantly work with you. They're blatantly your supervisors. They're your managers, man. They're your bank tellers. They cooking your food. They serving your drinks. You know, they on your police force. They're your firefighters. They all these people. They're your next door neighbors. You know, and this is what Esau done. He's shot himself in the foot. Now it's not looking too good for him. And it says an unwise king destroyed his people, and clearly unwise. Because, see, this whole feminization agenda was set up to destroy Jake. But, see, he wasn't anticipating on it backfiring on him. Okay, because all the things that he set up in the society, okay, as preeminence was to destroy Jake. Okay, because that was the type of hatred he's had for our people, and that's the type of hatred he has for Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. But he wasn't anticipating on destroying his people, but it did. Okay, because by nature and by design, Esau is that's just who he is. He's one of these people that's in his nature. You know what I'm saying? All these devils are weird like that. But it says, an unwise king destroyed his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city should be inhabited, right? And this is the reason why you have these clowns walking around here like that. All right. So this is the book of Jeremiah 51, and I'm gonna start at verses 28. It says here, prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes, okay? And we know who the Persians and the Medes are, okay? You got the Persians, which is the Iranians, and the Medes are coming in the place of the Russians, man, okay? And then you have what they call Gog and Magog, which is Japhetic nations, okay? But if you look at the land of Gog and Magog, you have Russia that harbors the land of Gog and Magog today, okay? So according to the scriptures, they considered the Gog and Magog, and you got the Persians and the Medes, but modern day, they're the Russians and the Iranians, man. And it says, and the captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion. And the land shall tremble in sorrow. Why is that? Because World War III. Okay, even Trump mentioned it. Okay, Biden even mentioned it, that this war may go global and nuclear. And it will, because this is the scriptures, man. So these roars and rumors of wars, they're coming to pass. Okay, and everything is being set up for the global economy to collapse. So therefore, when it does happen, all the nations and all the chips can be in play, you know, because something is going to happen that's going to cause America's allies to turn against them, okay? And this whole Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 sabotaging of these particular pipelines, once they attribute that back to the West, that's going to create tensions. And when this economic bubble finally bursts and Esau comes with his CBDC shit,